That's a concern worth discussing with the families. I have been at meetings, and their major discussions include requesting $5.3 million of federal funds be allocated to my state to pay into Department of Health and Human Services for more staffing, more foster homes, more money for foster care training, and they also submitted a request to have less strict foster licensing qualifications so that they could more quickly expedite and relieve the children in the foster system by getting them adopted out. It's about expunging the system. And so the discussions were designed around funding, helping to assist selling more children, and paying for resources for those individuals who take children, keep children, paying for services, all these mental health providers, schools. Everybody is in sync with giving up on parents and calling DHS or CPS versus trying to understand the family's needs, work directly with them, and offer kindness and support versus report. Folks need to understand this is a very serious issue when you're taking children away from thousands and thousands and thousands of families and you're not talking to the families. That's a serious problem, America. It's time to wake up. It's time to stand up. And if you're afraid and injured and you have an open case, it's pretty darn hard to stand up when you've been beaten down so many times that you just feel in the back of your mind, stay down. But there are others out there that are out there saying, don't give up. Don't ever give up on your children. Don't ever agree to things that never happened. Don't agree to untruths. Document everything. They do. And one day there'll be enough people aware of what is happening to all of these children who are being funneled through the CPS foster care gauntlet never to return to their families. The testimonies I have read are about parents claiming that they've met every demand and their children have still not been returned to them. To them, it feels like a hostage situation. Their children were taken against their will. They were told that they weren't adequate enough parents. They were told and given demands that if they met the demands, the children would be returned to them unharmed. And the children don't get returned unharmed. The children never get returned. And when you speak to children that are 18, 19, 22, who have been in the foster care system, they are absolutely broken. And they are begging. They are begging for anyone who is able-minded and able-bodied and willing to support protecting families' rights and protecting reunification, then please understand that these voices need to be heard. And if you can contribute in any way, your anonymity will be protected. Community guidelines will be expected and protected and followed. Hearing and visual impaired followers will be accommodated upon request. Please follow us on Twitter at Mommy on a Mission 5 and Facebook Awareness Train. It's the one. An important reform, Congressional Law HR-867. Please consider going to the Congress website at https://www.congress.gov.bill/105th 105th is how they spell it, Congress/House-bills/867. Again, https://www.congress.gov.bill/105th-Congress/House-bills/867. Stay informed. Thank you for listening to Awareness Train and Mommy on a Mission. Until next time.
God is always dangerous. It attracts the West. It corrupts the best. I never asked for power. Power is only given to those who are prepared to kill themselves to pick it up.
Hello, welcome. Awareness Train and Mommy on a Mission address Congressional Law HR-867, a law which gives federal kickbacks to Child Protection Services, or CPS, or DHHS, Department of Health Human Services, during foster care and after parental rights terminations, PRTs. What could go wrong, right? Well, that's what we'll be discussing in our continued podcast. We hope that you listen in and will reach out to submit your story or positive input. Anonymity is respected. Community guidelines will be followed. In today's episode, I'd like to discuss with you a petition that I came across, and it is titled Petition for Writ of Certiorari. Certioari. This had to do with the court case of Adkins versus Adkins, a husband and wife couple. I'm going to go ahead and read to you excerpts from this petition because the language put together in here very accurately describes the many thousands of families all over the United States right now. Petition filed in the United States Supreme Court for return of children asserts temporary orders unconstitutional, family court dictatorship exempt from Constitution. Rather than serving litigants by protecting their rights and interpreting the law as charged by the Constitution, family court acts as a dictatorship with goals and objectives of its own, often in conflict with parents' and children's rights. Family court is the only court not to be bound by the Constitution, such that the state can remove a sacrosanct right to children without evidentiary proof. Activists are encouraged to contact the Supreme Court and show support for taking the petition and signing it the very first step. Here are some of the details of this petition for writ of certiorari in Adkins versus Adkins. There is a Google Drive available if anybody wants to take a look at that document. Paragraph 1. Family court systems throughout the United States have come to be the only courts that are exempt from various provisions of continuum of liberty, as well as significant portions of the United States federal Constitution. The United States Constitution requires the state to introduce proof of parental unfitness prior to temporary or permanent deprivation of that right from a parent. Only in family court systems do litigants walk into a courthouse, enter a time warp that takes them back to more than 200 years ago when the Constitution did not exist. Rather than serving litigants by protecting their rights and interpreting the law as charged by the Constitution, family court acts as a dictatorship with goals and objectives of its own, often in conflict with parents' and children's rights. Paragraph 2. Family court has all the power, and when their power and our rights conflict, we lose with a repugnant to the Constitution. We the people created the government to serve us, not the other way around. If you observe family court today, it'd be difficult for an outsider to determine what, quote, we the people, unquote, don't exist to serve family court. The culture of family court has become so relaxed that written laws aren't followed, procedural due process requirements are ignored, so the parents portrays summary mode of decision-making from a century ago is alive and well, allowing family court to, on a whim, outright destroy the unfortunate, unfree souls of, quote, post-judgment, unquote, parents and children. Judges feel utterly secure in knowing that they will suffer no negative repercussions for their actions, with no safety, no liberty, familial rights free from government intrusion, most, quote, post-judgment, unquote, parents and children of today are found to be receiving the same injustice as the slaves living in the same land as the founders of the Constitution. I know that's harsh, but let me continue. Next paragraph. Finding the right between liberty and safety is a centuries-old pursuit of civilized people, but post-judgment parents and children who have systemically been denied both liberty and safety find themselves removed from the continuum of liberty in a daily struggle to correct this fatal flaw in our judicial system. The trial's court summary transfer of children from mother to father was done without deference to the U.S. Constitution and without invoking a child custody or child protection proceeding. Mother asks this court to make a finding that the non-expiring temporary orders are unconstitutional and that the JOD be enforced so her children are returned to her care, custody, and control. The family's fundamental right to continuum of liberty was ignored and instead surrendered to the trial court's subjective determination of what was best for its children. Family court is the only court not bound by the Constitution, such that the state can remove a sacrosanct right without evidentiary proof. Also, this petition is gender neutral, addressing rights of parents to their children. It will have the greatest impact on women since the epidemic involves children being taken from mothers and given to controlling, abusive fathers. This petition addresses some of the discriminatory tactics used, including issuing of a temporary orders switching custody from primary caregiving mothers over to fathers. The temporary orders can last for years and almost always result in permanent sole custody to that father. An affirmative ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court may help some mothers keep custody, but the epidemic will rage on until the root cause is addressed. Systemic discrimination against women. Join the Women's Coalition in fighting for women's right to keep and protect their children. Website www.thewomenscoalition.com. The Women's Coalition, coalition spelled COALITION. The Women's Coalition, PAC.com. Ways to get involved. Call or email the U.S. Supreme Court. Let them know that you support taking the Adkins versus Adkins petition. You can tell them this petition is very important because your rights and thousands of others are being violated when kids are being taken away. You can call 202-479-3011. Select option 5. Ask for Jake Travers, spelled Travers. Leave a voicemail. You can email http://www.supremecort.gov/contact/contact_ P like Papa, I like Indigo, O like Oscar, .A as in Apple, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, X as in X-ray. Submit a friend of court brief. Email attorney of record for a template to make this easy. Jeff Mofat. Email Jeffrey mbajd@hotmail.com. Comment, like, and share the post if this is a post that you can do that with. You can take actions throughout the holidays. This is pretty serious. This is one individual out of many thousands, and the stories are all similar. All of the policies and procedures that are set in place are not always followed. So the adoptions and Safe Families Act of 1997, HR-867, Public Law 105-89, that was put in place by the Bill and Hillary Clinton administration. Hillary Clinton has campaigned on the platform of having worked for decades to protect America's children. Here's what the Clintons consider helping America's children. What I'm reading to you is an excerpt from a blog titled Clinton's Law Cash Bonuses to CPS for Taking Children, 540951. This was posted October of 2016, and this individual has done an amazing job of summarizing some key points. Under Bill Clinton's administration, he signed a law which gave cash incentives to CPS for every child taken from their parents and placed up for adoption. Clinton's law gives Child Protection Services $4,000 per child with an additional $2,000 added for special needs children that